So even though the Minnesota Fighting Vikings are moving towards a run-first offense, I mean, still got to look for someone to replace Stephon Diggs? Question mark. There you go. Even though, yes, I do believe in Olabisi Johnson, and I do believe in Tajay Sharp, etc. This is one of the deepest wide receiver classes in recent history. Now, are they all going to bust? I don't know. It's certainly possible. But something that we like to do whenever there's a position of need, position indeed, is just do a full mock draft where you pick one of the top players from that position at every single round. Just as a not as a, well, the Vikings should draft 12 receivers. Not that sort of exercise, but just to see what sort of value you can get at various levels of the draft. And also, frankly, I want to come away with one pipe hitting day one contributing wide receiver, and a couple other projects are fine. So I think you'll find that. I think you're going to find a lot of value at various stages in the draft. So this is what we came away with. Let's walk through. So 22 overall, Denzel Mims out of Baylor. Pretty common, mock to the Vikings here at 22. Combine stud, explosive. Also apparently a Vikings fan. So, I mean, it doesn't really sway things, but it is kind of a cool bonus as well. 25 overall, one of our favorite guys, Jalen Reagor from TCU. Just run after catch king, extremely explosive. I think he's a dynamic playmaker on the outside, just waiting to happen. 58 overall. So getting into, speaking of just the combine wizards, so Chase Claypool out of Notre Dame, where you would have liked to see more production in college, but some of those traits you just really cannot get past. Would he be a day one contributor? Probably not. And if the Vikings go this route, where they do get a Claypool at 58, if he's the first wide receiver off the board from which, in all likelihood, it would be, say the Vikings go cornerback, offensive line, cornerback, D-line with the first two picks. I would like to supplement it with a more day one contributor. So say Tyler Johnson 105, Claypool at 58. I'm perfectly fine with that, because I think Johnson, even at 105, even though he's the second wide receiver selected, is a more position to contribute right away, whereas Claypool probably needs to work on a lot more things, but you just can't ignore those physical traits. But also, he won't be pressured to be on the field contributing right away, which I think could greatly benefit him, whereas he has time to work on a lot of technique, work on route running, etc. So eventually, there's not a ton of pressure for him to contribute right away. So, Tyler Johnson and a Claypool combination, perfectly fine with that. Third round, A9 overall. So if you're looking for a guy that can contribute in the slot right away, mid-rounds, now getting away from, say, Justin Jefferson early on, but if you want a traditional, not a big slot, but just a shifty in the slot dude, in the mold of a Julian Edelman, in the mold of a Cooper Kupp. KJ Hill from Ohio State is this year's version of it. Could be a quarterback's best friend. Hill is being mocked quite a bit to Tampa Bay in some of these mid-round mock drafts, where it's Evans, Godwin, and KJ Hill underneath for Tom Brady. I mean, that's pretty legit. It really is. Now, for the Vikings specifically, certainly some overlap and redundancy with Thielen and Hill, but as well as, I don't think KJ Hill would necessarily supplant Adam Thielen, but also is a spot where Tajay Sharp and BC Johnson work on the outside. Thielen, when Thielen is on the outside, you kick KJ Hill in a little bit. Certainly possible there. 105, Tyler Johnson, like we said. I think Tyler Johnson is going to be the Chris Godwin, Terry McLaurin of this year's draft, where, they fall into the mid-rounds, slept on a little bit, but all of a sudden, boom. I mean, McLaurin did it his rookie year. Godwin, it took a while, but Chris Godwin's ascending to become one of the best wide receivers in the league. I think Tyler Johnson could be in that boat as well. In the fourth round, 132 overall, Devin Duvernay, the wide receiver from Texas. Now, a bit of a sawed-off shotgun feel, a little bit of a running back build, but overall, I do like his game. Really solid receiver. Fifth round, so then we get back into the toy department, the full-on small school dart throw kids. Antonio Gandy Golden, AGG out of Liberty, where he's big, he's not fast, and we've been down this road before. Yeah. Sixth round, so Jawan Jennings, again, big receiver, 6'3" and change, not smooth, not overly fast. Does he have to play in the slot? Does he have to play in the slot like a Larry Fitzgerald, like a Marcus Colston type? I don't think he'll ever be. I don't think he's physical enough to get off a press on the outside, so it's a bit of a plotter there. But overall, in the sixth round, it is what it is. Also, sixth round. So This is one of my favorite day 3 wide receivers out there, James Prochet from SMU, where captain highlight catch, just a chippy, getting after an alpha male type out there wide receiver. Like I would love for him to come in, especially if you're doubling or tripling back a wide receiver. Like say the Vikings take Mims at 22 or Rieger at 25, and then you circle back and get Prochet in the 6th round. All of a sudden, Prochet's out there. He's playing special teams, working his way up as wide receiver 5. All of a sudden, oh, what happened? A couple years down the line, James Prochet is your starting wide receiver and the face of your franchise. I mean, I wouldn't bet on it, but I certainly would not bet against it. Yeah, I'm not betting against this kid. And then in 7th round, so Aaron Fuller out of Washington, Jake Browning, hashtag chemistry. Just this underneath, shifty type receiver. I mean, special teams, future slot maybe could work in that respect. Also, 249, John Hightower, chemistry with Alexander Madison. Speedy kick returner, brings some speed to the table, play some special teams, etc. Maybe develop into some more. And then lastly, 253. This is also one of my favorite picks. So Malcolm Perry out of Navy. Now, name sounds familiar. Perry played quarterback, played some slot for them for the last couple of years. Was a team captain. Not going to play quarterback at the NFL level, but is going to try and go the Keenan Reynolds route, play some wide receiver, play some running back, play some special teams. I think this would be just a really fun do-it-all pickup at this stage of the draft for the Vikings. Plus, what you get from the academy, players, you get discipline, you get leadership, you get being able to take direction well, you get a teamwork, team-first attitude, which is something that I really love as well. So, I mean, say the Vikings go Mims at 22, or no, different route. So Claypool 58, Tyler Johnson 105, Perry 253. All right, so you got the big physical freak upside guy with Claypool, who can sit for a while. I think Tyler Johnson comes in and contributes right away with BC Johnson. Future starters, Johnson and Johnson, hello, as well as Tajay Sharp. And then, Perry maybe makes a practice squad, maybe he makes a roster, maybe he works his way up and just is a bit of a do-it-all, playing special teams, a little bit of running back, a little bit of wide receiver, a little bit of everything in there. I mean, that's awesome. Like, there's so many various combinations that I would love from this class. The one thing I wouldn't love, like, say the Vikings wait and then they take, AGG and Aaron Fuller. So fifth and 6th round receivers. So it's like, okay, get it. It's a deep class, but AGG is a full-on project. Fuller, not overly excited about either. So it's like, if they wait that long, address other positions, meh. But I do firmly want to come out of this class with at least one day one contributing wide receiver, a fun project on the back burner as well. And frankly, I would be fine with that. Like, I don't think the Vikings need to draft 3 wide receivers, but I would understand it. But also, man, like, there's so many fun combinations here. You cannot necessarily go wrong. Just come away with a guy who's going to be starting week 1, and let's go from there. All right, but your thoughts, the all wide receiver draft, let us know in the comment section below. Subscribe for daily Vikings takes. You want to support the work, pull us up on the Venmo. Please give us a follow on social media as well. Until next time, Skull, production value.